These letters come from the Invisible Friends Chronicles. Today's letter comes from Artie Vigil. Agent E, situation report. The situation is dire. It has been concluded that the functionality of both the attic and basement in this facility are inadequate for the current and future needs of the collective operatives. I have submitted a complete situation report to the Prime Commander in regards to these failings. With the cumulative needs of the base family and collective of Invisible Friends, it is my recommendation that we move to upgrade to a larger, high-security facility as soon as possible. The storage needs at the Whispering Inkwell far exceed its limited capacity. I honestly do not know how this facility is still standing. Mabel credits the Prime Commander for her nearly magical ability to create a space and home for all of us who live and have lived here while maintaining the heart of the home. Although Mabel went on for several minutes in much more flowery speech than you will ever hear me echo. Although Mabel may view the Prime Commander as some sort of domestic sorceress, you and I both know that this cannot be the case. I have considered, however, a more plausible alternative to this possibility, and that is that the Prime Commander may in fact be alien in origin. I submit as evidence of this theory. First, the Prime Commander has successfully bypassed standard Euclidean physics, which is more than ironic since she came from Euclid. Her ability to maintain the sheer volume should not be possible without a resulting structural implosion. Second, her ability to compartmentalize and fit as much stuff as she has with all of the diverse needs and equipment of the residents suggests that she is utilizing a never-before-classified form of molecular compression. My research suggests that she is one of two most likely alien species. First and most likely, I submit the hypothesis that the Prime Commander is of Gallifreyan lineage, a Time Lord, which would further explain her wild swings of energy in a way that cannot be explained by any human standards. Further, my observations of her suggest that she views time and space as fluid concepts rather than firmly fixed barriers. I submit as evidence of this my observations of her walking the Jericho, where she has specifically mentioned that she knows that she is always joined in prayer by others, regardless of time or location. Second and less likely, she could be utilizing a form of bottomless satchel energy. If that is so, she could be a descendant of Populantis. Interestingly, in this case, she does have a grandmother whose first name was Mary. This, however, seems less likely, as I have never before seen an isolated location for item storage and retrieval. The sheer size itself lends again to the Gallifreyan lineage. Historical records indicate that the Poppins are generally limited to small, satchel-sized items for the small moves of individual entities. If the Prime Commander ever produces a coat rack, however, out of her morning coffee cup, I will naturally update the mission log. But I digress. Regardless of the Prime Commander's heritage, it is my personal recommendation that we relocate the residents to a new base of operations as soon as possible. I believe that the local farmers may be secretly working with a different alien species with the intention of poisoning the Prime Commander. Her health and leadership is at stake and must be viewed as the highest priority at this time. I am aware of the high stakes of your current secret mission. You needn't fear. I will watch over the Prime Commander as if she were my own flesh and blood and continue the efforts for evacuation. I will also begin the plans for the requirements of a new location. There simply must be more room for the residents to spread out, rather than exhausting the energies of the Prime Commander. I don't know how Time Lord energy works to expand and contract, but we must be diligent for the sake of the mission and the Prime Commander. I believe that the best way to do this is by clearing the way for a new base, eliminating unnecessary supplies, and making plans for a larger base, where we will be able to stockpile supplies that are actually essential. Artie Vigil, Chief of Technical Logistics and Extraterrestrial Liaison. One final note. I have noticed a random fox lurking around here recently. I have reason to believe that it is working with the League of Squirrels and has commenced undercover operations for monitoring for invasions. I have submitted an appeal for non-human intelligence monitoring units.